Hello and welcome to the C-Suite. I'm your host, Shawanna Kennedy, and right here is the place, the safe space that I get to talk to CEOs from all over the globe about the good, the bad, the hard, and sometimes ugly of what it really means to be a CEO. I have a young lady that is waiting in the wings, and you know what? She comes from my hometown. She comes from the state of Ohio. I am excited because she is going to tell you a little bit about military and how that has helped her to in her leadership and what she gets to do for CEOs. So I don't want to delay. I want to get her in here right now. Let's welcome Denia. Hey,
Hey,
Denia.
Shawanna.
Welcome to the C-Suite. I am super excited that you paused for the cause. Look, they don't realize it, but look, we adjusted our schedules. Everything has aligned, and we are finally together. I love her, y'all. Her spirit is amazing, and I know that her clients really, truly do benefit from what you bring to the table, or shall I say, what you help them take off the table, how you help keep them organized and keep them together. So if you just let everybody know who you are and a little bit about what you do, and we're going to get into the heart of the matter.
Okay, so hey everyone, I am Denia, and the name of my company is A&R3 Consulting Firm, and we help business owners streamline how they do what they do. Um, So to better able to explain, if you have high turnaround, if you would like to boost your revenue, we take a deep look at what your core values are, and we make sure that everything aligns with it, from the way that you attract your clientele, hiring your first, or retaining staff. If you have staff you need to let go, policies, procedures, standard operating procedures, staff handbooks. We pretty much cover it all things operations.
I love that. So this is your operations girl. Let's get into this CEO conversation though. And doing what you get to do with that, I want to know what even led you down this particular avenue. Why, as a CEO and positioning yourself to do this for businesses, to come into a system of all the things that you could have done? Why this?
Right. You know what? So it's so funny. Sometimes they say that it takes frustration to push you in the other direction. And so I was the director of operations for an agency, and I was creating all these things, right? Because they didn't have, they weren't able to have levels to their leadership. So there was the whole entire staff. It was like 30 of them and me, and then the owners. And so I had to figure out a way to put myself in multiple places at once. So I started creating SOPs, standard operating procedures. And someone else had come along, I guess, and was discrediting my lack of education. And so with that, it caused us to bump heads. And so I'm creating all these things. And a good friend of mine said, people will pay you to do this for them, right? And I was like, no. And I prayed about it. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day with the name of the business, how I was going to do what I was going to do. And on a wing and a prayer, I took off from there. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. On a wing and a prayer, I took off from there.
Yes.
And I truly get it when we think about being CEOs and what that looked like. There is some risk involved, right?
Yes.
What they say, no risk, no reward.
Right.
And with you jumping into that and thinking about that, you're former military. So even with that and what you learned and your skill sets with that, and see, what people don't know either is that we had the opportunity to do a little hanging out in Mexico, right? And this young lady right here, and so I got to feel that heat a little bit up close and personal, we was in those streets.
Yeah.
And someone was actually trying to approach me, and I knew I had a military sister who was an entrepreneur, and we were out, and I was like, Denia, and she swooped in stealth mode, guys. And I never felt so safe in my life. So I know you can feel safe in your business having this young lady to actually help you organize your back end. We think about standard operating procedures. It's like people think it should be positioned as standard. It's not the standard. It's not the norm. but
Right.
those are things that can make or break your business,
Yeah.
right? And so it's like looking at that. How has your military experience, all of those things with your life, who has helped to shape you?
Mhm.
How has that helped you in your business?
Wow. So it's funny you say that because it's helped me and it's hurt me,
Mm,
right? Because I am a stickler for time. I'm on time. That's what I do. Everything should be in order. And so when I work with clients who that is the total opposite of who they are, I have to reel myself back in and remember these are the strengths that my team brings to the table. 3 of the 5 people on my team are all military. So we understand and we get it, so I can kind of double back. It's helped me because I get to keep my business owners on task. I do assign them homework. Yes, I do, because they have to work on, as Shay would say, on their business and in their business. And so it's helped build a structure for them. But it's hurt me because sometimes I'm a little too, and there has to be wiggle room and grace, if
yeah,
you will.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, but when we think about the good, the bad, and the sometimes ugly, you said it has helped you. So
Yes.
because of that, how are things when they're good? When we think about the business, they're good. What does that look like in the
Oh,
life area? How does that feel good for the business? We got entrepreneurs or even potential entrepreneurs that could be watching, and
yes.
want them to know because everything is not always sunshine. So what is that when it's good though? Like you said, you chose to do this. What does that feel
Oh my goodness. It's an honor because I absolutely love what I do. I love being of service to the business owners. And so they get to sleep well at night because they know, like actually today, right now, normally I would be in my office. But one of my clients, both of her secretaries had a death in the family. One had a death on Tuesday, the other one Wednesday morning. I swooped in, got the keys, came in. I was running her front desk until her management team was able to come in. And when I called her, she freaked out. And I said, I got you. Don't worry. We figured out everything. When she finally made it into the office, she was like, oh, I have to do this. Already handled it. Oh, I have to do. Already handled it. Like all of the things that she was worrying about on her drive into the office was already handled. And just to see when she came in, her shoulders like this, and just to see her be able to do this, and I was like, yes, high five.
That's right. That's right. I love that. Right. Because people are like, why are you clapping your hand? Because you're giving yourself your own self a high five. And
Yep.
that's cool. But see, it still even leans into that whole military. I heard you say honor. I heard you say privilege. I heard you mention duty.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's a call to duty. It's a
Yeah.
call to arms. And that's been a part of your calling. But
Yeah.
then also, what is that like for that work life balance? What is that? What does that look like? What does that feel like?
Um,
Because you
so
you stopped everything,
yeah.
and the beautiful thing when you do have relationship with
Mhm.
your clients, it's not just work, 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 work,
Yeah.
but you have relationship with your clients. How do you balance that even with the clients? Not to even mention the family. Let's start with work with your clients. How do you balance that work?
So I had to set parameters in place, like do not disturb, on my phone after 9 p.m. I may look at it, but I try my best not to engage if it's not an emergency.
Right, right.
Mondays, my company is closed to the public. So it's all about me and my team. And so, because everything happens on Mondays, and I refuse to have my team scrambling
Mm-hmm.
when we can't operate in excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mondays is strictly about our team, what we need to do to show up in excellence for our clients throughout the week, and just being there for them. So what some people may say, I've given clients hugs, I've prayed with them. We've gone out together, gone bowling, dinner, things of that nature, because it's all about relationship.
Yeah.
And they trust you more. The only way a person can see how genuine your heart is if you allow them to. So I have to be vulnerable within myself to allow them to see the human side of me, that I'm not just coming in militant, even though I have that, but I'm not just coming in militant, and because that can be a turnoff for people, so I want to have the balance.
That's good. And see, you talk about balance. It's nice that you can hang out, because relationship is a currency. It's like, if they, what is it? Know, like, trust. I'm big on know, like, and love me. I need the people that I get the privilege to partner with, the people that I get to work with or work for. I need you to actually love me. And yes, love, yes, of course, love what I do. How
Right.
does that how does that work with your family? When you talk about the balance, or sometimes, right, you could have had, because I know you're a mom. How is that with them, especially in still having school? Look, I don't want to say school age, because they're not babies, but having that, how do you balance the work and the pull on the work when you have to spend time at home, potentially still even on the computer?
Yeah. So typically what I do is in the mornings on a drive to school, that is our time. I'll play something motivational and we'll just talk. I have two daughters in high school going two totally different directions. And so I give them my undivided attention then. I don't take business calls while I'm in the car with them. Tuesday nights is ladies' night. I have all daughters. And so we go line dancing on Tuesday nights. So I make sure that my day is cut by 5:30, no matter what. It's from the line dancing is from 6 to 10. Sometimes I'll usually leave about 8:30. They might stay, because my oldest drives. And then I'll come back home and then I'll get back in the office. Friday night is date night, so I try to honor the same way my clients have slotted times, my family has slotted times. And so I try to honor that and make my clients aware, so then that way they know. So they're like, oh, I know it's date night. Okay, I'll let you go. Or, I know it's ladies' night. So, okay, I'll let you go. So they kind of, I've found a way to merge the two, to separate the two. So then that way they can respect their boundaries as well.
Yeah, I love that, but I'm telling you, I still hear that military. I hear it all up in there. I hear, ma'am, yes, ma'am. I hear all of that, and I see that is honestly how that even works for your life. You have
Mhm.
about the training, the skill that the military has given you. I hear it in what you're saying. So even if a person, even if you never said you served, so we want to thank you for your service.
Thank
They
you for acknowledging.
they can hear it. And when you talk about your business, when you talk about your family, and how is that though? We got to talk a little bit about that, when it can be tough, when
Yeah.
it's tough, because when the invoices are invoicing, when things are, when, yeah, you got more outgoing income.
Yeah.
Talk about that for an entrepreneur, because it's not a bed of roses. It's not for the faint of heart. Look, I
No.
know that it's not easy. And for some people, they say it has to be a calling. If this is something that you want to do, to know that you're going to work harder than you ever did working anybody's 9 to 5,
Yeah.
they'll say, you are cuckoo. Sign me up for where I know what I'm going to get. I don't
Yeah.
have to try to figure it out. I don't have to be accountable, so that I can eat. I can count
Yeah.
on. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how hard it could be to be a CEO.
Oh, yeah, it is hard, especially doing the work and people saying that they want to buy in to the things that we've created for them, their orientation slides, employee manuals. It's like over 80 pages, and then when it's time to pay the invoices, so I've tried to figure out different streamlined ways to have at minimum the finances flow. My family has been very supportive, because it's actually my daughter's senior year in high school. And so I haven't even hit year 2 in business yet. And she got a job over the summer, and she was like, mommy, I'll pay for my homecoming. So she got her dress and her shoes. And, I took care of all the other little incidentals. Prom is coming up and it's the same thing, but they are so proud of me. They have their moments when they're my kids, and it's like, well, why can't I have extra, or why can't we do this? And and I have to gently remind them I'm doing everything that I can. So yeah, but it does get hard. You have those moments where you're like, is this really what I'm supposed to do? What I'm looking at, it's like, okay, my bank account, the work that I put in, my bank account should say this, but it says this. I've had not tracking everything, things that I've signed up for come out of my account and take my account negative, and I'm like, oh, and I got to figure out how to. So I mean, I've had it all. I've had where I could sit back and it's like, okay, I'm good. I don't have to worry. So I need to tuck the money aside. And then I've had that, nail biting. Oh my goodness. Something needs to come through because I don't want to hit a pole. I don't want to, but yeah, it's twofold, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
Oh, wait, say that again. Say that again.
It's twofold. Yeah, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't. Because
what makes you say that? What makes you say? You just said you have the times where you even went so far to say the nail biting. I've experienced that. It's like, oh shoot, what did I choose to sign myself up for?
Yeah, especially when you have a significant other.
Yes.
Right. That you it's like you can't keep coming back and saying, I don't have my half,
Right. Now that, you know what, that's good. That's a good place right there, because it is in some cases. Now, God bless people who have partners, life partners, and spouses and things that they treat, in some cases, what you do as your job by choice. You are CEO. You have people that they count on you, not just your family, right? You're a CEO, and it's your household still counts on your income. But for some people, when they're the CEO, though, they may have a spouse, they may have a partner who, to them, that thing that you say, no, it's my job, they see it as a hobby. But you're like, that's not your life, right? Or you say, well, if I don't make it, I don't make it, right? You're like, no, I need to make it. I have no choice but to make it. And so I appreciate you being vulnerable. I appreciate you being transparent, because that is the real conversation of the majority. Everybody don't have the funds or have money stacked to say, now I'm going to go into business because this is what I believe I'm being led to do.
Yeah.
And you have an area where I don't know that you just could open up something and say they're hiring for that or they need that service. So those are things that as a CEO, you have to go out and find the people who need you.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not being sought out. Most companies want to hire someone to run the operations for their company. They don't even know that I can come in and only tackle certain portions to get them over the hump until they can get to that point.
Yeah. How do you position yourself? If somebody that they could be an administrative in some regards, and they're saying, you know what, I kind of like that because I believe what she's saying is similar to what it is that I do. And if I wanted to strike out on my own, what is some of the things that you would even actually say to a person like that? Like if they were interested in saying, I like that, how could you help that person though? How could you help that?
So if someone, I think if that's what you really wanted to do, I would say first things first, settle yourself, clear your mind, and make sure that this is exactly what you want to do, because it is not for the faint at heart at all. You want to make sure that you file your LLC. You want to make sure that you are built for this. So I would say start out first, working on it while you still have your job. Like don't just jump out, willy-nilly. I didn't. I started my business in May and I didn't jump out until October. Like September-ish was around my last day on the job. And so I want to say you can do it, right? If you have the heart and the mind and the passion and you're going to stick to it, you can do it. Make sure that you don't burn bridges before you transition away. But if you know how to do it, give me a call. I'll help you out. Go to the website, email me, and I'll help you, because it's enough room for everybody, right? It's enough in the world for everybody to eat.
I love that. And that's real. And what is it? I know I've seen it. I can't say who actually said the original quote, but it is, what is it? If you help enough people, then the things will open up for you. And offering that, because I get that. It's kind of like having a conversation. And I tell people, even with the things that you see here, that you see now, and you know that us having offline conversations, I had to become what I needed.
Yeah.
I had to become what I needed. And then God opened the door, and he showed me a way to how me becoming what I needed, he allowed me to then allow that to be how I operate in my business, because now people need the service because they needed a me.
Yep.
Needed a me. I had to become what I needed for my business. And then God said, bless you. And so now I'm allowing you to do that same thing, because you have the heart to now be able to do the same thing for people who need exactly what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in our businesses, because it's kind of like a lot of people they're self-taught, because we know there is a large percentage of people with degrees, and they're not doing anything with the extra degree because they've been called to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a funny story, I started, well, first of all, I was in the operations department in the military. So that started it. But I had been working in this capacity for over 20 years and didn't even realize that I had that in my pocket. I was one of my good friends, he was doing an intern for Bad Boy. I know that he's but whatever. This was back then. He was an intern for Bad Boy. So I helped him with everything that he needed to get the internship, and he got it. I would help with contracts. Like, I flew down to Florida to help a friend run his, he did like a kind of like a job fair, but just for his company. I ran the whole thing. I set it up. And so it was just like, it was crazy, because when the young lady said to me, you can do this, and I was like, I don't know. God brought back to my remembrance all the things that I had already been doing to say, you're equipped for this, so just go for it. And I was like, okay.
I love it. Because it does make us look back at the things, because we're always, I believe, it's my belief, I know you're a woman of faith too, that we're always being prepared for what's prepared for us.
Yeah.
There are things that are already designed for us. It actually has our name on it. I'll be so strong enough to say that that's my belief. That is Shawanna's belief. That there are things that are designed and assigned to you and to you alone.
Yeah.
It is up to us to get in alignment, to get off our do something and do something, so that we can go after, because people are waiting on what we need. People are waiting on what we have. People actually need our services. They really do. And if you believe that this is, you feel it on the inside, you feel it down in your shanana. It's time for you to do something about it. And that's why we have this space, so people can hear and see other people in real time, in real life, that this is what it feels like to be a CEO, but you're still smiling about it.
Yeah.
You're happy about it. Even with saying, yeah, I've had my nail biting days. I've been in the red. I've seen the minus sign in my bank account.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's real. That's life. But then you look back and you look over your life and you say, you know what? I really do. I truly do. I want to die. I want to die empty. I want to leave it. I want to leave it all here. I want to leave it all here. I want to leave my imprint. And some of that is by way of what? Being a CEO. Is being a CEO and helping others. If on this life, then our living is not in vain.
Yeah.
Our service is not in vain. So I want to know, before we even prepare to get out of here, is when you think about being a mother, and you think about being a wife, and you think about being a friend and a coworker and a boss, how can you help somebody, whether they're in it and they're like, but I want to quit. I heard you said that there was times that you was like, I can't do this. I just need you to have that heart-to-heart moment with someone, a CEO, or someone even thinking about it, but they nervous about it. I want you to just talk to them for a minute. Talk to them for me.
Okay. So first of all, I want to say, believe in yourself. You thought enough of yourself to get started. So that means you have to keep going, because there is someone else on the other side of your I'm about to quit. You don't lose when you go through things. It isn't failure. You either gain it or you learn from it. Those are the only two options. So what can you gain from everything that you've done? Be honest with yourself, right? Take a step back. Am I not giving myself 1,000%? We can get up every day and put in so much for someone else, but then we give ourselves a pass when we don't work to our greatest capacity. So own your stuff, right? Have an accountability partner that'll call you out and let you know, well, it's not that you should quit. You probably should tweak some things, but keep going. Don't give up, because like I said, there's always someone, one more sale, one more client, one more check on the other side of your I'm about to quit. So we can't give up. That's not what we're here for, right? As long as you have breath in your lungs, you have work to do. So make it happen. That's it. I tell my kids every day when they get out of the car, go be great. So I'm telling you, go be great. Whatever that looks like.
Woo-hoo! Yo, you heard it from the CEO herself. You heard it from that. And this is not someone that's sitting, look, high in a penthouse. This is someone that's like you and I, and they're working the work that God has set before them. And I'm proud of you. I salute you. I'm humbled to know you. It is a privilege to be able to have conversation with you, because in this field, in choosing to walk in this space, it can sometimes be lonely, because you can't have those different conversations with everybody. You can't. And so I appreciate you. So you already know, if you need somebody to organize your business, to keep you and to get those things together on your back behind the scenes, because it's what's behind the scenes that affect what we see in public, right? And so I appreciate you for what you do. We will make sure that they know exactly how to reach you and all of these things, Miss Denia. I appreciate you so much. And I'm you pause for the cause, to come over and just have a CEO chat with me. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say before we get you out of here? Because I know I hear walkie-talkies and things going off. She got to get back. Look, she a CEO. Y'all heard what she said, and we're praying for those families. And so we appreciate you pausing from what you're doing to help someone else, If there's anything else you want to see and say to our audience before we get out of here, it's over to you.
If you're thinking about it, just do it. If it came to your mind, it came to your mind for a reason. So do it.
Yeah. Denia, don't you go nowhere. I'll be right back with you. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of C-Suite, a CEO Chat. It's the good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly, but we are grateful for what we get to do, and we can't do it without you. So we don't know, who is possibly our next CEO. Will it be you? I'll see you guys next time. I'm Shawanna Kennedy.